Okay, here's an interesting eBay auction that's happening right now. Ends in 21 hours. It's a Griswold number 9. The current high bid is 40 bucks. And let's take a look at this and see whether or not this is possibly a good deal. So, again, I like these all crudded up pans because you just really don't know what it is you're going to find. It could be cracked, but let's look and see if we can see any signs. So that's the outside. Let's take a look at the inside. I like seeing seasoning still on everything, and I don't see any particularly bad signs. What we want to look for when we examine these things is right around here or here for a clear line across the top. If these pans are going to crack, they're usually going to crack around the handles, like right around here on either that side or that side. So if you see a clear little line across the end, that's a sign of a crack. I don't really see anything anywhere, and I don't see any lines. Of course, you just don't know because you could theoretically season over a crack. And it all looks pretty good to me. So what's a good price for this? I don't know. But see, since I've got the booth, I'm looking for some higher end pieces that I can put in the booth just to round it out, you know, because I've been mostly getting Lodge 3 notches and BSRs, and I really need some Griswolds. And down here in the South, they just don't come up. So it would really be a nice little thing to add to the booth to be able to have more Griswolds in there. So if I can get this for under like $60 or $70, I could probably mark it up at least $25, $30 in the store after I restore it. Of course, again, I'm not, you know, when I take into account my time, it doesn't really seem to be really profitable, but it's a fun little thing. And if you guys enjoy this process, watching it virtually, that's awesome. And we just finally hit 1,000 subscribers, so now I've been able to monetize it. I don't have any illusions about how much money I could actually make on this. Probably on the channel, virtually nothing, because it's just too obscure of a subject to ever get enough traffic to really become lucrative. But you know, it motivates me to do it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So we'll see how long that goes, right? So let's see if I can get this and what I will pay for it. Probably should have turned my air conditioner off before I filmed the other segment. So here's another auction that I'm looking at, and this is a Griswold, an early Griswold where it just says Erie on it, which is pretty cool. I believe this is the 3rd series. They've made 6 versions of this. And I have one of these. The only Erie pan I have is this same series with the Erie up at the top, and then the mold number in the kind of lower middle, and then the large 8 here with the slightly less defined handle. But what's interesting about this particular pan is the Erie font there. It's serif, and I don't know if I've seen any examples of an Erie pan with these kind of fancy little serif things on the edges of the lettering. It's pretty cool. It seems very odd, and it's not like any of the other 6 early Erie versions. So I don't know, but it's relatively cheap, $103. I'm going to try to snipe this thing at around $150, $160 and see if I can get it. I might not be able to, but it's going to end in 5 hours, which is about 10 p.m. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to see what I can grab this for, just for research purposes. I'm pretty sure I might be able to get my money back out of it, but we'll see. We'll see. So stay tuned for that. All right, it is eBay package day. We got 2 packages in here. So let's take a look at what we got. See if anything is going to be horribly packed or whatever. As usual, I can't remember what it was I got. I think I know what one of these things is. So let's take a look, shall we? Oh, not all that great pack. Look at this. Just some paper, and then bam, there it is. This, oh, look at that. It's all the way up against the thing. Look at the scratching in the thing. Is there a little ding on the outside of the box? Look, that's the handle right there. That's messed up. Again, poorly packed, really poorly packed. Really beautiful enamel coated continental breakfast skillet. And of course the infamous 666, the mark of the devil. What better to have it in than red? Really beautiful example of this. Little bit of marking right there, but otherwise an absolutely beautiful piece, huh? Yeah, I really like that. Okay, that came out good, despite the fact that it was really poorly packed. Once again, very disappointing. You got to protect these handles. You know, put a pool noodle over it or some bubble wrap or something. People, don't be doing that. Anyway, that's a really beautiful piece. And this is actually, I got this less than what the non. For some reason, these enamel coated pieces don't sell for anywhere near as the plain ones. I wonder if there's a way of getting the enamel coating off, and then it would be like mint underneath. I don't know, but it's a nice piece. All right, let's take a look. We're moving on. We are moving on. Let's see what we can get here. Zip, zip. I don't usually get pieces that are already cleaned like that, but I've been wanting one of those 666 pans, and I keep missing out on the regular ones. Now this thing is sealed up. That could be a good sign. Maybe I should... Oh, I see. Okay. This is what we want to do. It's a box over the top of a box. So, this is what we got to do. Now this looks like this is relatively well packed. Look at that. A box inside of a box with the peanuts, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but they do work. So that's pretty nice. A box inside of a box. I'll take that. Alright, now let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Now look at that. That's not too badly packed. These people knew what they were doing. Okay. Is it just one? It's just one piece. Okay. Alright. So far so good. The handle is... It's okay packed. Could be better, but... Let's see. What do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, this is another one that's been restored. Oh, this is the favorite. Look at this. That's beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Really nice restoration job on that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Little bit of pitting on the edges here. Look at that. I wonder if that's a casting flaw. Because it looks so odd being right there. What do you think? But what a beautiful, beautiful... I'll tell you, I really love these favorites. I have a number 8. And so I'm kind of trying to maybe collect a set of these. Just beautiful. Wow. Whoever restored this did a spectacular job. I don't see any cracks. What do you think? You gonna see anything? Beautiful. Looks like it sits flat. Got the outer heat ring. So this is their Miami series. I don't know if they're lower production than the regular, but this will be the second piece I have of this. Speaking of eBay shenanigans, here's an auction that I really wanted to get in on. This Griswold number 12 large block logo with the slant logo, but instead of Erie, Pennsylvania, PA, it has just Erie on it. These series seem to be pretty darn rare, and for some reason I kind of like them. And I've been trying to pick up some of these now and then, but they're still very expensive and very hard. This thing went for $535. But what's also really interesting about this is the ghost writing on it. If you look up closer, you can see that it says Griswold's Erie right there. So you can one of the neat things about some of these pieces are they're like historically significant. They will show you the chronological timeline of how these different skillets were marked. So we know that the Griswold's Erie, where you have Griswold's in this angular thing at the top with Erie here, was what came before the slant logo. So that's what helps people put together the ages and the dates and the sequences of the different types of pans and how they fit together. And I kind of love that. One of the neat things about this hobby is trying to figure out and date when these things were made and from what period to what period. And these kinds of missing link pieces where they show two different types of markings on the pans are always of great interest to me and I think other collectors. I missed out on this one mainly because I kind of knew it was going to go this much. I actually was going to snipe it at over $540, and I just decided at the last minute that it's stupid for me to pay over $500 for a frying pan, and that's just me getting carried away, so I didn't do it. I exercised some self-control, and you know, I just, there's a voice inside of me that says I don't know if that's a good investment. You know, frying pans are not necessarily always going to continue to go up in value. This is a little niche market. I'm not convinced that 10 years from now these prices will be doubled. I just don't think that's going to happen. I do think there may always be a little bit of a market, but I just don't see, I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like certain types of collectibles are going to always be limited by their utility. And at the end of the day, this is a frying pan. Now, some of these frying pans are absolutely worth thousands and thousands of dollars. There's no doubt about it. And those are the very upper echelon ones. And so when you have a collectible market, I think if you're looking for something as an investment, you want like the number one or the number two version. Like Action Comics number one with Superman is probably always going to be a good investment. Action Comics number two, number three, probably not. And I feel the same way about this. This is not one of the top 10 great skillets. So my feeling is I'm not going to put that much money into it. There are people out there that are trying to collect these entire sets, and these do not come up very often. And I kind of thought, I probably won't see one of these anytime soon again. I should try to grab one. But then that voice said, you're not paying $500 for it. And it was me. It was not my woman or anything saying that. It was me going, yeah, that's not a good idea. So I don't know. You tell me what you think. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and enjoying the video series and supporting me thus far by subscribing and clicking like and all of that. And if you want to catch me on TikTok, sometimes I have previews of what I'm working on that I haven't published lately. That's at TikTok/@WisdomStudio. And if you're on Facebook, look up the group Vintage Cast Iron Hunting, Restoration, Identification, and Sales. And until next